damn fool.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna.
No, Karl Snow. The boys are back in town.
Yep, boys are back in town. I'll keep singing. So yeah, we're here. We're covering the end of the Robot Doom, whatever you want to call it, epic saga. But first, the Iron Fist Season 2 trailer dropped. So, trailer is fantastic, but I'm just gonna have to say, if you're already sold on the show, don't watch it because it has so many spoilers. It's crazy. Like it tells you the entire plot pretty much of the show.
He's talking, of course, of the trailer, not the show itself.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, awesome trailer, but yeah, don't watch it if you don't want to ruin what's going to be a bunch of really awesome moments for yourself. But awesome trailer. The fight choreography looks top notch, and I didn't mind the fight choreography in season 1. Some of the fights were but I was fine with most of it. But the fights in these look really good. I just hope they keep it kung fu and flowing, and don't try and cater to the Daredevil crowd and make it all.
Now, speaking
punchy.
Of the Daredevil crowd, did you just see what I posted on Facebook?
Yeah, I really wish. Yeah, so minor spoiler. There's a leaked photo of Daredevil season 3, and there's 2 Daredevils. One's in the Daredevil armor costume, and one's in like the season 1 costume. Now, we all want it to be Iron Fist in the Daredevil costume, and I want Iron Fist to essentially play with Daredevil with a superior skill. That would be fantastic, but unfortunately, I think it's probably going to be someone framing him, like the Kingpin hiring someone to make him look bad.
Because the Kingpin is back.
Yes, which is a source of rejoice.
Yes, great news.
Unfortunately, Karen is also going to be back. Please die, please, or please become addicted to heroin and just stay out of the show because I hate you. You kill my favorite characters. You're useless. You are just a master reporter all of a sudden for some reason. I hate you so much, Karen. Please go away. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
No bias here.
Yeah, I love Karen in the comics. Obviously early on, she's very typical Stan Lee 60s female, but she becomes a really nice character. But in the show, I just can't stand her, and it is actually a real bummer for me. Like, I really look forward to Daredevil season 3, and then I remember she's in it, and I'm just like, oh man. It's like a flare.
I'm halfway through Punisher right now. Finally watching it. I'm actually watching it with the guys I work with.
Okay.
Which is quite funny because I work with a bunch of guys older than me who have no interest in comic books whatsoever. But we put up a big screen TV in the break room for meetings.
Yeah.
When our corporate people come by, because we have Wi-Fi, and the new TV they bought was a smart TV with a Roku hookup. I immediately linked the TV to my Netflix account, so we've been watching one episode every day between lunch and break of the Punisher, and all these older guys are hooked. They're like, Punisher today? We're watching Punisher?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Well, Karen comes on the screen, and everybody's just like, Her again.
Without too many spoilers, actually, she might be. She's not in it like as much as I feared, but she's still in it a lot. What do you think of the Punisher so far?
I am on episode 8, and it is good, but like every Netflix Marvel show, it is suffering from dragging on forever.
See, I'm not. They did, but I feel like Luke Cage season 2 and Iron Fist didn't drag on for me. I thought the episode lengths were fine, which is why I'm like really disappointed that Iron Fist is going to be 10 episodes, because I thought the first season's pacing was fine, and they just knocked Luke Cage season 2 out of the park. I don't think it was like The Second Coming or like amazing, but it was really good and it was consistent throughout all its episodes. So I think it's a shame that they're reducing the amount of episodes. I'm really disappointed. But
Well,
yeah,
let's see the finished product of
yeah,
what they do with these 10 episodes before we go.
I just don't want an entire Daughters of the Dragon episode when we only have 10 episodes. You know, like, give them, if you want, give them their own show. I don't want it being like Daredevil season 2 as well, where like half of the show is a Punisher ad. That was annoying. And yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying Punisher. I guess I thought the first 3 episodes were dog poo, but I thought it got better as it went on. Sort of. It was good. There was some good moments. It's just. Do you know anything about season 2 of Punisher?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Other than, of course, Jigsaw again. God forbid.
Well, it just. Have you seen how Jigsaw looks in season 2?
No.
No. It's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see the end of season 1, then you'll see the season 2 photos, and you'll be like, what? But anyway. Yeah, so, exciting stuff though. I'm really excited for Iron Fist season 2. It's good times. Less than a month away, people. Make sure you send us your apprehensions, hopes, dreams, anything about the show. Just send it to us.
Paychecks,
we'll read it out.
Whatever. Yeah. We'll take it all.
And just let us know what you think of the upcoming season, and then after the season's aired, you can send us another email, and we'll see how it's all stacked up. Because we obviously will be doing an episode on season 2 of Iron Fist. We'll have a whole episode dedicated to it. Because it's Iron Fist and he's got a TV show, guys. It's awesome. We're living in a world where that's happening, so...
Yes, and I actually, will be honest, I never thought it was gonna...
Yeah. Hell, I never...
In a million years.
I mean, Iron Fist is just like, yeah, you never think it would happen. He's that C-list. I guess.
And I still remember talking to Ray Park about it years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
And since that never transpired, I was just like, oh, that was the one chance. He was hot because of Star Wars and Darth Maul and Toad.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, so now it's never going to happen. And it was probably only going to happen because he was attached to it.
Yeah. But here we are. So.
Here we are. And now we have.
Before we go,
no martial art ability whatsoever cast in the role.
Well, I mean, he got training. That's what's important.
Right. Well, I think it's funny that it came out later because they had advertised that he's been working with people and this, that, and the other thing, and blah blah blah.
He was working with people just for 15 minutes on the day before the scene was shot.
Right, but no, it turned out like he had like some basic like Taekwondo training, like before they started shooting, like white belt stuff, and then they were breaking down fight scenes 5 minutes before they shot.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault though. That was all them. Like they hired him so late because they were obviously worried about stirring up complete poop storm with casting, which no matter who was cast, there always would have been a poop storm, and they did. And yeah, so they casted him way too late because they were scared, and the show suffered, I guess. I mean, I just watched episode 6 the other day, and I thought it was fantastic. You remember the arena fights? He goes to challenge the Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I guess, but yeah, some people really don't like the fights, and some of them are a bit sloppy, I guess. It's hard for me because I don't see them as that bad.
My only concern for season 2 is he seems awfully ground punchy. As in finishing the battle like every time by punching the ground.
I guess we'll see.
I think I've seen it like 3 times already in clips. I'm like, you can't keep doing the same damn thing. It's like it's a multi-layered thingy that's going on.
I mean, he can do so much with it. He can shoot bullets out of his chest. I mean, like if the bullets are in his chest, that came out wrong. He can't just shoot chi out of his chest. Let's forget that. But yeah, like it can be used to heal, a Jedi mind trick sort of thing. So
Slap
hopefully
bullets out of the air. We've seen that. We've seen one. Well, in the comic, he's done it. In the last episode, it bounced off his iron fist.
Yeah, so hopefully they go... Because they did heal with the Iron Fist in Season 1. They did start to go there.
Yeah.
So let's hope that...
But he is a master of the martial arts, and 3 thugs, coming at him on a street is not something that the Iron Fist would be needed for.
Well, that was my big problem with that last fight in Defenders, how he just had it on the entire fight for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But we've talked about that. So yeah, on to the issue. But before that, here is a quick promo for a new podcast.
Hey Connor, I've been giving this a lot of thought. I was wondering if you could do a podcast on anything, what would it be?
Oh, Iron Fist, obviously.
Hang on, haven't you already got one on Iron Fist?
Well, 2 couldn't hurt, right?
I was leaning towards Superman, the blue and red fella.
Yeah, honestly, you're probably right. We should probably do a podcast on him, shouldn't we? Hi, I'm Connor, a fan of truth, justice, and the Australian way.
And I'm Ray, Lex Luthor sympathiser and Brainiac groupie.
And we're your hosts for Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast where 2 Australians, 1 superfan and 1 newbie to Superman, cover everything, anything Superman. We're going to do comic books, radio shows, TV, whatever we feel like, whatever decade we feel like, and it's going to be awesome.
We're even going to dress up as Superman.
I'll probably be more like Bizarro, but sure. So coming soon, make sure you guys keep an ear out.
Look forward to catching you then.
Whoosh! Whee! And we're back. And yes, that was me on there, but don't worry, I'm still doing the Iron Fist podcast. That other podcast will be fortnightly, and it's 2 Australians, so it's just going to be easier to organise. But no, Iron Fist is not being put on the back burner or anything like that. I mean, for God's sake, we're here covering the Robots of Death trilogy. We're committed, guys. Even if we're not, every week, we are committed, trust me. Yeah. So, yes, this issue...
3 titles.
Yes, 3 titles.
titles.
Issue 53 of Power Man and Iron Fist, published October of some year, because I forgot to look it up. So you can read out some of this stuff while I look that up real quick.
Alright, so in this issue of Power Man and Iron Fist, issue 52, called Next Issue Iron Fist Uncaged. The cover of the issue itself says, "No mercy hath the hero killer." And the first page, where we have Luke and Misty plunging to their death in the New Jersey River, is called Death Plunge.
Yeah.
The cataclysmic conclusion of the Deadly Nightshade trilogy.
So it does have a name, I guess. It's the Deadly Nightshade trilogy. So, yes,
And on the cover, we have a giant, huge, golden, cross-eyed robot holding Luke Cage in one hand while pulling back his left hand in a mighty fist. But Iron Fist has his fist fully charged, and he's punching the robot right in the nuts and bolts.
I mean, I like the cover, but I don't really like the robot.
I don't like the robot's face.
Yeah.
If they had changed that, if it didn't look like almost a Disney character,
If it
like
looked
a
like,
robot duck.
The Sonic the Hedgehog villain. Yeah, I mean...
It's Sonic the Hedgehog.
I don't know.
Sonic is awesome. I mean, look at all the machinery in the background. It's all excellent.
Yeah.
Then you just have this cheeseball, cross-eyed robot's face. It's the only real disappointment. And even the ink shading is almost Kirby-esque on the robot itself.
But I mean, I guess it does the job. It shows you, hey, it's this issue? Power Man and Iron Fist fighting robots. And it's...
I don't know if you have the date, but it's 1978.
Oh yeah, 1978. Yeah.
But I'm in the Epic, and they take out all that information. In the Epic collection, there's no paragraph on the bottom of page 1 saying the month and all that. They take all that out for some unknown reason.
Yeah, I'm using the Epic collection too, and you are correct. But yes, so Luke Cage, a child of the streets, Daniel Rand, a son of the mystic city of Kunlun, two men from different worlds, both reborn with strength and power beyond belief, and together no one can stop them. Except for the Mountaineer. Stan Lee presents Power Man and Iron Fist. So, right now, the moon is neither a silver penny nor a ghostly galleon to a doomed misty night. More like a dirty brass subway token, misplaced in the water 300 feet beneath the New Jersey Palisades. A smudge of reflected light that speeds towards a plummeting car in which she and Luke Cage are trapped. Cage, at least, is lucky enough to be unconscious. He'll never feel the impact of death. Plot by Chris Claremont. Pencils by Sal Buscema. I was going so well, and then I couldn't pronounce the name.
I think it's Buscema.
Buscema, right, because Buscemi, I guess, maybe. Sorry, Sal, if you're listening. Inks by Jim Mooney. Scripts by Ed Hannigan. Lettering by Gene Simic. Coloring by Nell Yomtov. Bob Hall, editor. Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. So we have a, pretty good opening page of a car plunging into the water. Misty's face looks a bit weird. Maybe. I don't know if that's just me.
Your face would look weird too if you're plummeting to your death.
Yeah, that's a good point. People aren't... Yeah. Alright. So, yes. They land in the water. Misty hits her head. They hit the
water so hard that the front end crumbles. Because from the depth they were thrown, it's as if they were running into a concrete wall.
Which is actually a nice touch.
Right. Yep.
Because usually they would just have the car going in.
I think it's funny that they were correct on this part.
Yeah.
And then completely wrong on the next page about the door. I know you haven't read the issue in a while, so we'll just get to it.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell them that.
Hey, stuff happens. We have lives.
Yeah.
So they hit the water. They're thrown high up in the air to the point where they're thrown into the middle of the river. That's quite a ways.
Yeah.
The front end crumples as it hits because when you hit water at a certain speed with a certain mass, it's literally like hitting concrete.
Yeah.
That's why people jump off bridges and actually usually die from the impact, not from actually drowning.
Yeah.
She smacks her face off the windshield. The car slowly sinks to the bottom. The air inside the car is still good. It's sealed, but there is a small leak of the water they're showing coming in from the crack in the windshield. And Misty's monologuing to herself. She sees that Luke is still unconscious. She's trying to wake him up, and if she doesn't wake him up, she's saying like, "You're fired." Then the entire windshield that was cracked from her head blows into the car from the water pressure, filling the car up with water. She punches the door open, and as she's trying to crawl out, she puts no good. The water pressure on the door is pinning me here. This is the end for sure, lady. And she passes out again saying, "Luke Cage, I'm going to fire you."
Yeah,
and
so...
as a mental clue, Luke wakes up and goes, "Holy crud, I'm underwater," and kicks the entire front end off the car.
Yeah.
Now, the problem here is, once the windshield blew out in the car, the inside and outside water pressure is stabilized. So it's just
it wouldn't be pinning her.
The door would not be pinning her.
But it is a nice touch that she does use her bionic arm to punch the door open. I will say that much. They don't just forget she has a bionic arm, which you guys were talking about last issue.
And now we have Connor's favorite part of this entire issue.
It's your favorite part too.
I'll let him describe.
Misty is drowning and she's already passed out, and Luke gets the brilliant idea of
using his belt.
Yeah, to tie a tire to her back so she'll float to the surface.
This is a tire he's ripped off the rim, so there is no longer any air in it.
Yeah, so she floats miraculously, and Luke swims up and he's like, "Okay, now to check if Misty's okay." Oh, whoops, she's face down. Because he strapped the tire to her all wrong. And I'm just like, why... Okay, let's deal with this first. Why wouldn't he just carry her up?
Well, if you notice, he needed a tire under each arm himself to get to the surface.
I gotcha. Yeah, but he's really strong though. And he's...
Yeah, and he grew his belt back, but we won't go there. And,
symbiote. It's moved on from Danny.
It's also Luke Cage's belt. And yeah, this is a little goofy right here. There's no real reason for this. It doesn't really make sense. I mean, technically, I wouldn't be surprised if you could have just thrown her over his shoulder, because they're literally standing on the bottom.
Yeah.
And power jumped from the bottom to break the surface and then swim to the shore.
Yeah, so...
I mean, she would have still been passed out, drowned, whatever, because that had already taken place.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so it's not Luke's fault she drowned, at least. Points to him for that.
Yeah, the other part is he's chewing himself out. He's just like, wait, that doesn't really make complete sense.
Yeah. So he's I do like how he is chewing himself out. But he used to, as this says, he used to swim in the Hudson when he was a kid, and so he had life-saving training as well. So he resuscitates her, and it works, because if it didn't work, then she'd be dead, and comics have to live. So I will point out that here Luke Cage is a good swimmer. He's had lifeguard training. He knows how to rescue drowning victims, but later on he just forgets how to swim. This is at the end of Power Man and Iron Fist, which I'm on the record for absolutely hating, and that's one of the many things that the writer obviously just got wrong. So, yeah. Luke saves Misty.
You don't like Christopher Priest's work?
I love his work. I don't like his Power Man and Iron Fist work. His Deadpool stuff was amazing.
Would you put it higher than David Walker's stuff, or no?
I'd put David Walker's stuff above it, because at least the characters act like themselves. Well, for the most part, Danny's a bit stupid, but Priest run on Power Man and Iron Fist, I don't know, it's just like I feel like he didn't really know anything about them, or I don't know, I guess we'll get to that. It's been years since I read it, but I just remember hating it.
Alright, so Misty comes to and says he can have his job back, which just confuses Luke, because of course he didn't hear any of the inner monologuing in Misty's head underwater while she was saying if he doesn't come to and get her out of there, he's fired.
Yeah.
So now back to Liberty Towers.
So Misty has, she's looking pretty good for someone who just drowned. She's running around banging on doors.
So Liberty Towers is an empty monument of altruism and big government spending, a low-rent housing project that for various reasons is not and has never been occupied. Now this is where the base for Nightshade and her large friend are.
Yeah.
Or so most people think. The early morning, however, it's thousands dead-eyed witnesses, swarming police cars, and a horde of noisy carrion beetles. A raid hastily organized at the insistence of Cage and Misty. The cops are expecting the worst. They're like in full riot gear and stuff.
Yeah.
Bring it out, man. We gotta get up there now. They've all heard the stories. Robot goons with super strength terrorizing the Harlem rackets. According to the hero detectives, the building is the robot stronghold. Up here, this is where I was held captive.
Can we just take a moment to just think about how utterly insane the premise for this story arc is? Like, complete madness. Like, if you wanted to do an intro, you probably wouldn't have needed, like, the robot thing, but they just made, like a street level crime racket, but they turned everything into, like, a superpowered robot. And it's bizarre, and for me, it just doesn't mesh well at all.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to point out the 400 Superman issues I could say the same thing about. So she's banging on the door. Luke Cage says, "Step aside, lady," as he punches the door in. Boom! He's ordering his pay. We're busting in, and oh no, oh yes, our birds have flown. Empty. Building is empty. The police chief is pissed. Shaking his fist at him. Ugh.
Yeah, he's pretty angry. I've had it up to here with you costume freaks, etc. So everyone's yelling, carrying on. Blake Tower, DA's there. And so Danny shows up.
With his Walkman.
Yeah. So, and I'll point out...
his boombox, his 70s boombox.
Last issue, because I wasn't there with the Joy fiasco, but I'll point out that Joy had said previously, or Danny had said, the last time Joy appeared in Danny's run, Danny had said in his head that Joy didn't know that Iron Fist was Daniel Rand, which itself makes absolutely no sense. But now she does. And it's confusing and it's awful and it really annoys me, but I just wanted to point that out. So, yeah. She knows who he is now, though, so it's all good. They finally dealt with that plot line that had just been left behind. But yeah, so they all reunite. Danny's carrying a special sensor made for me by the good people at Rand Meacham. It's calibrated to a specific energy pattern found in the Cybernaut fragments from the robots that self-destructed. See, the difference is, Karl, Superman is sci-fi a lot. Neither of these guys are sci-fi heroes. One's a mystical hero and one's like a street-level hero, and they're fighting, like, hoodlums that are robots, whatever. Misty collapses because, yeah, it makes sense. But she wakes up, and because, well... Oh, wait, no, she doesn't wake up, but they leave her behind because, obviously...
Right. And the medic says she's got a concussion, she's got contusions from the river, and she might have hepatitis. Because the river in New Jersey is that dirty. That going into the New Jersey River with a scratch will give you hepatitis.
Also might still have water in her lungs, but apparently that's not important, so...
Nah.
Yeah.
So now, Misty is listed in serious but stable condition at the Columbian Hospital. Cage and Iron Fist do not begin their search until later that afternoon because of going to the hospital. Misty, meanwhile, in a burned-out section of the South Bronx, a long-abandoned high school is the scene of an unusual and concealed activity. The low hum echoes through the deserted, vandalized hallways. There is no life to be seen. The hum gets louder towards the basement.
Some nice
Shaking
panels.
Loose, the occasional shard of ceiling plaster or window glass. Other than that, the place is desolate, forsaken, even by the rats. Until one reaches the stripped-down boiler room. Secret door within.
I just need to...
Beyond that door, dun, 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 a page pulled out of a Jack Kirby comic.
Before we move on, just pointing out Iron Fist color on the previous page with the red background. It's going crazy again. It's got a mind of its own.
Not just the red background. Look at the top left.
At least that...
From the...
Yeah. Good times. I gotta get like a parody drawing where his collar is just huge.
We need a website just dedicated to the collar of Iron Fist.
Yeah, throughout all this time I should have been taking like photos of every time his collar's been ridiculous, but I've been slack, so.
Well, we're not done. There's still several more pages.
Oh. So we get to, isn't his name Chunky? Isn't that what she calls him? Yeah.
Yeah,
Nightshade,
she calls him Chunky.
Who was established as the brains quite early on.
Now, actually, in the first, when they go to charge where the hell is it?
There's a washing machine in the background.
Oh, everyone's got to wash their clothes.
Robot clothes.
Guy staring into the washing machine.
Yeah. It's like, what am I doing here? What am I doing in my life?
Oh shit, I put it on whites. And security check is complete, my dear. Everything is in place and accounted for. Good, Chunky. A few adjustments and our backup headquarters will be operational. I hated moving from our Manhattan base, but it's better to play it safe. After our run with the Lady Detective Misty Knight and Power Man, it would hardly be prudent to stay there. Yeah. And now she's monologuing her origin about how...
Yeah, she's monologuing hard.
And if you think about it, she's monologuing to an empty room.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Well, she's crazy, okay? Who else would come up with such a weird plan?
Usually they wait till they have the heroes trapped and tied up to pull this full page of monologue about my origin. But
Right,
she
so-
grew up in Harlem, realized it was a dead end, and knew she had to get out. So she
No, we got to.
avidly studied in secret.
We'll do this properly, Carl. We got to read it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. New York was a mere stepping stone anyway. The next generation of cybernauts will have more power, more strength. They'll be the equal of any so-called superhero. With their power, the domination of the whole world's crime operations will be assured. Everyone who ever laughed at me, who ever underestimated me, blah, 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 blah. They'll be sorry they ever heard of Nightshade. I learned early what the world was like in Harlem. That was easy. I could see the ghetto was a dead end. I had to get out. The only two ways out were learning and crime, so I decided to master both. Stroke of genius there. I studied avidly and secretly in the library. I was a genius, but no one suspected, and I made sure no one would by playing dumb. By the time I was 16, I had amassed the knowledge of a trio of PhDs. I guess she just probably thinks she amassed that knowledge, because I don't think she's that smart. Then the time came to put it to use as a deadly nightshade. My first tries were foiled by superheroes, but they were bold attempts. And that's never in a comic or anything. The authorities soon found that no jail could hold me for long. Everything was going fine until now. So the backstory doesn't really explain that much at all. Suddenly, boom! You got that right, and the worst is yet to come.
Look at
Mama.
that collar. Look at that majestic collar.
I mean, it's a really awesome page, and then you see Power Man and Iron Fist. It's like Nightshade has had a lot more effort put into her than the two heroes of the book when it comes to artwork. Like, you found me, but you'll regret coming here, as she works at her little...
This is my territory, hero, and the odds are in my favor. Attack!
And then the Batman Adam West music starts playing. Skash! Boom!
And her robot goon squad in different forms of being built. Some of them don't have skin and look like they have buck teeth. Are after Power Man Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And now he says, Luke, Iron Fist says, remember, Luke, yeah, it's a matter of timing. 1, 2, 3. Because we find out that Danny's little frequency machine that looks like a boombox can also reverse the frequency, and it is setting out a frequency that just out of phase with the robots, messing them up enough that for some reason they can break them easier.
Hey, at least it's explained. They're not just breaking them easier for some reason. Because you totally know that could happen.
So they take their time and they mow through the normal-sized goons.
We got some awesome lines from Danny here. He got me. His grip is like steel. Odd choice of metaphor, Luke. His grip probably is steel, but no more. Good joke, Danny.
And then Luke uppercuts one robot and sends him flying. He's just like, Luke, how strong are you? And he's like, why? Because, well, however strong you are, you're going to need it all now. And the big golden robots that were on the cover and who also knocked out Luke Cage from the issue before make their reappearance.
It's like, they knocked me out. That's not an everyday occurrence, just every couple of issues.
So Danny throws a flying kick into one and just bounces off and gets punched in the face. Kick had no effect. Looks like last time I couldn't even dent him. This one pounds him on the top of the head. They sure can dent us. Hey, where's that Iron Fist of yours?
It's like, oh yeah, that thing.
Oh yeah.
So he uses
These
that.
Cybernauts must have been designed to fight a military force. They're too fast, too coordinated for a lone fighter to face. I can't dodge all these blows, and worse, I can't concentrate and focus. Gee, must try. He's closing in. It's now or never. So Danny actually does manage to summon.
But we don't get like unto a thing of iron. We get living flesh acquiring the hardness of iron.
It lashes out with rocket speed, crippling the behemoth. And it looks like he just blows the knee clean out of that sucker, and as it's coming down, he now then backhands with the Iron Fist, taking its head off. Good start. But to bring him down, I must apply the lessons I learned at Kunlun. The test of the one.
Marvel
oh my God,
Premiere
somebody
15.
did research.
Yeah, I know, right?
It doesn't happen often, folks.
By the good book.
Spot is 8 centimeters above the waist. Hit it with all you got, 8 centimeters. What a time for a lesson in the metric system. Guess I was close enough. As he punches at midsection, blash. The top explodes off the golden robot.
Well, if it ain't the little girl who don't wear perfume. Ouch.
Alright, now, this comment was made earlier by Misty Knight that she found it odd that a woman who was keeping a man around wasn't wearing perfume, which personally I find odd, but this was the 70s and it was a different time. I told you about her, didn't I, Fist? You don't scare me, Cage. Chunky, I need time to escape. Happy to oblige, my dear. I'll protect you with my life.
Then Iron Fist kills
Indeed.
Chunky.
With one blow, Iron Fist flashes one more time. As we surmised, Mr. Cage. Now, God forbid they were wrong on this one.
Yeah. This is
would've been
Iron
a
Fist
whole
have his
nother
like
page.
chi sense as like, ooh, that's a yeah, like it should have had a line where like, okay, he's just a robot. What if it was just some dude and there was blood and guts everywhere?
Small and large intestines draped over
Yeah.
everyone.
Whoops.
I guess he just had an arm like Misty.
Reaction's kind of the same though. You know, she's like, you've killed him. He was more than a cybernaut to me. He was the only friend I ever had, and now he's gone. And Luke's like, hey, come on, don't cry. And then she calls them insipid fools. Ha ha ha.
She was secretly just going for the gun in his pocket.
Yeah, they fall for that bit every time.
Oh?
Oh?
Ruh-roh.
Always underestimating me. Always thinking of Nightshade as a child. Always giving me the chance to escape. And then she fires the pistol, which is like a big flashbang.
Yep. Dazzling light, I can't see. She took us off guard. They'll recover their sight in a matter of seconds. And when they do, I'll be long gone. And then we have 4 panels of Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Sweet Christmas, I can't believe we could have been suckered like that. We bust our guts taking out a dozen robots, then blow up by falling for one of the oldest tricks in the books, and against an 110-pound female to boot. We started to see now, and how?
Daniel knows how to fight blind.
Read it.
In Kunlun, I was taught that a warrior has 5 senses to guide him. Thus, if one is impaired, it is no great loss. The task may be done with the other 4.
Let's just be glad he didn't have to lick the room. So, I had to find her with taste. So I see.
Stick my tongue out. That way.
You know, Danny, we make a pretty good team. If it wasn't part of Misty's detective agency, you got fired, remember? Although I'm sure they'll take you back. If you really want them to. I'll think about it.
Yeah, so they're not...
Next.
Yeah, new beginning.
It's called Power Man and Iron Fist,
but they're not...
still technically it's...
A new beginning for Power Man and Iron Fist, plus the most offbeat new villain to hit the bank robbery biz in the story we had to call Heroes for Hire. Which, that's like the first use of the title, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So, actually, not a bad issue.
Other than him being called Hero for Hire first.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I didn't think that was a bad issue. I think it was the strongest issue out of the 3.
Yeah. No, it was good.
I liked Luke and Danny didn't have any speedball maneuvers, but they were working together, which was good. Like, you see how they're both valuable to each other. Well, I guess it seems like Danny's doing most of the work in this, though, now that I think about it.
He punched his way out of a car.
Yes, he did.
In front of the car.
And he saved Misty, so Danny would be sad if Misty died. And Misty would be sad too, because she'd be dead. So, but yeah, I really liked the bit where she makes her escape, but Danny just stops her. Just punches that cliche right in the face. Well, he probably like nerve pinches her or something, but yeah.
Who knows?
So yeah, they're treating Nightshade like she's an established villain, but like 99% sure she hasn't appeared before this arc.
No, she was in Power Man.
Oh really?
And she's a Luke Cage villain.
Why wasn't she saying before Luke Cage stopped me then? Why was she saying like before superheroes stopped me? Whatever.
Actually, no, to be honest with you, her first appearance might have been against Captain America.
Oh, I'm looking this up. Yeah, disclaimer guys, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but the only Hero for Hire I've read, the original series, are the first 2 issues, so essentially his origin. I haven't read the rest.
Yeah, I read that stuff 25 plus years ago.
I think Rebecca is the most recent person who read all that stuff. Let's see, Nightshade, Tilda Johnson. Oh, yep, you're right. She appears in Captain America first.
Now, does she appear in? Does it say Power Man? Or does it not go into that? It just gives you the first appearance.
It's Captain America, and then she runs into Power Man and Iron Fist.
I thought she appeared.
This is just the Wikipedia article, though. It's not the Marvel Wiki, so there might be. But, yeah, so 1973 was her first appearance. This
is 5 years later.
And she also appeared in Captain America 403, so she was in Shadowland? Man, I don't remember that. Well, yeah, she's still around. Interesting. When I was reading it, I thought she was like a one and done character, but I guess not.
She also has, I believe, a different hairstyle and a different outfit now.
Yeah, I see this image here, which is indicative of the current quality of writing, I guess. Let me put it in the Skype chat. Yeah. Solid issue. Now...
And of course, she is in Season 2 of Luke Cage.
Yes. Yeah.
A very different origin.
Yeah. But similar hairdos at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, very different character, but a bit more similar than, like, some of the other characters, maybe? I don't know. But, yeah. So you can get this, easiest option is probably the Epic Collection, of the first Epic Collection of Power Man and Iron Fist, titled Heroes for Hire. There's the Power Man and Iron Fist Essential, which is probably going for a lot right now, plus it's in black and white, which is not better for this run. You can get the single issue for pretty cheap, I imagine. Just keep an eye out for back issues or find it on eBay. And, yeah?
This actually is not cheap because it's early in the run of Power Man and Iron Fist.
Ah, okay.
Don't be surprised if this is $15 to $25.
Oh, that's cheapish, I guess, for like an old issue. Yeah, you have anything to add about the issue? Any thoughts?
No, I enjoyed it. Can't wait till the next issue where not only Heroes for Hire is the title 3 times, so they stuck with the same title.
Oh, you ruined it for everyone. There's no reason to listen to the next episode now.
But we do, for the entire issue, get a collar that is under control next issue. However, it is ruined by a Lee press-on helmet.
Yeah.
Which you got to see to enjoy. No tassel, just a dome stuck on the
Yeah, there's always like something that goes horribly wrong. Like, why do things keep going horribly wrong with artists trying to draw Iron Fist?
I don't know. I'm not even really a fan of the cover.
I liked it, but let me examine it Karl style and see.
It's almost like something out of a cartoon. And by cartoon, I'm talking like Saturday morning. But we'll get to that next week.
Yes, yeah, we'll save that for next week. I kind of see what you mean, but yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yep.
See you
Thanks
next time.
very much. Remember, first aid if someone's drowning, tie a tire to them, and all will be well.
And watch them slowly bounce off the bottom as the current takes them away.
Peace.
Later.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want really. It doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. If you don't want it read on the air though, make sure you mention that. You can also find us on Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon, our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast, our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are, our YouTube, Connor and Karl, just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. I'd like to thank Thomas Tissot for composing the Iron Fist theme song we use at the start of our Iron Fist episodes on the podcast. I'd also like to thank Peter John Sikorsky for composing the Power Man and Iron Fist theme we use at the start of our Power Man and Iron Fist episodes. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.